Hi, I'm Naya with Families in Transition. Welcome to Protect the Innocent. Today we're talking about the evolution of trafficking. These are the stages for human trafficking. Stage one is vulnerability. Virtually all trafficking victims have similar characteristics: dire economic circumstances, need to escape conflict or oppression, the desire for a better life. Poverty is a principal factor that makes victims vulnerable to human trafficking schemes, and they fall prey. False promises of a better life. Often, this desire for a better life involves the health and well being of family members. Extreme circumstances: parents may sell their children for a small amount of money, and they typically become domestic servants or slaves. Stage two, recruitment. The recruitment process almost always begins with a local recruiter who knows the culture and vulnerability of victims. Often these recruiters are acquaintances or friends of the victims and can even be a family member. Most often, these local recruiters are women. Regardless of who it is in this role, there is a great amount of money to be made. Employment aboard are used to lure victims. Media outlets such as websites and social media are used to lure victims. Help wanted ads describing opportunities for legitimate employment are placed in newspapers and ad-based websites. Recruitment by persuasion is the most common manner in which the victims fall prey. Recruitment by force is where a recruiter abducts, kidnaps, or drugs victims. Refugee camps are prime targets for abduction. Stage three, transportation. Usually the transportation is to transport a victim away from their hometown. The recruiter lies to the victim by promising them legitimate employment in another city or country. The financially desperate victim will often pay the recruiter to transport them. Although deceiving the victim to travel aboard is the most common method to transporting them, some victims are abducted or forced to travel against their will. Stage four, exploitation. Upon arriving at the destination city or country, the victim becomes aware of their exploitation and that there is no real job. Usually because passport, identification, and travel documents are taken. They then learn that they have been sold to a slaveholder or trafficker. The victim is told that they owe a huge debt for the travel, and the only way to pay it is to do whatever work is demanded by the trafficker. The victim is told that freedom is possible if the debt is paid. In reality, this amount never actually happens because the slaveholder ensures the debt continues to increase over time, making it impossible to escape. Stage five, abuse. Physical abuse and torture begins. Victims are subject to physical assault, beating, rape, and other forms of violence to not only make them do what the trafficker and customers want, but also to prevent escape. Psychological torture may include placing 15 to 20 victims in a small confined apartment with around-the-clock surveillance and forbidding victims to leave their place of employment or living quarters without supervision. Stage six, resolution. The only resolution for many victims is death. Some die trying to pay off their debt. Some are tortured to death. Some contract fatal sexual transmitted diseases. Those who manage to gain their freedom may face difficulty returning to their hometown due to shame or skepticism. Those that are successful to make it home are often in the same financial situation as before, and they remain vulnerable. Guys, if you know someone that's in trouble, please help. Love your family, love your friends, reach out, touch one another, love on one another. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, thanks for watching. If you're in trouble or you know someone that's in trouble, please contact Families in Transition at 870-732-4077, the national hotline at 888-373-7888, or you can scan this QR code for CASA's website.